Oh, well, we need his face shown, don't we?
Yeah,
for this
we do.
particular discussion.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to Beyond the Credits.
Today we're going to be talking about a film that we've seen most recently and loved, and I feel like we can't not talk about, which is One Battle After Another. And we're also going to be talking about, have a bit of fun to discuss our favourite scenes of all time in film.
I know, I'm buzzing for that.
I'm excited to hear yours.
I know, I'm excited to hear yours.
Let's get into it.
One battle after another, right? Oh, what were your thoughts, Al? I, just preface, loved it. Yeah. I loved it so much. I've not been that entertained in a while. I'm intrigued to hear your detailed thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, it was on my radar, but not hugely.
Same. I'll go watch it. Paul Thomas Anderson, Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like, I'm going to go watch it. Yeah, it'd be fun, but I didn't expect to love it the way I did.
And I heard, once it had been like in the early screenings, then once it had been released, it kind of was gaining all this traction. Yeah. And I was like, okay. I think the first thing, one of the last things I heard about it was the fact that Leonardo DiCaprio is going to start in Paul Thomas Anderson's next film.
And that was like, I was thinking, interesting. I was thinking, that's an interesting pairing. But it's like, it's going to work because they're both incredible. But how is that dynamic going to be? He's like such a Scorsese baby. Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly.
It's like, interesting. But I was intrigued to see it. And then when you see all the set pictures of him running around in that
shirt,
in that dressing gown.
Oh my God.
I was watching that dressing gown and his man bun in court were the best things about that film.
Yeah, honestly.
So funny. In terms of what stood out for me, it was, the plot was something that wasn't like quickly sort of hashed out. It wasn't like a plot-based film, really. I mean, it got to a point where it was just about graspable and easy enough to understand, even though at certain points you're kind of like, what actually is going on? It kind of rounds up little micro like bits in the plot where you kind of don't really know what's going on. It rounds them off quite well, and then you're able to keep up with it constantly, which is something I always like in a film. I don't want to explain to me, but I do want to be able to kind of keep up. I don't want to be lost. And I wasn't lost in this. I thought it all rides. For me, what made it so fucking sublime, I loved it. I've not been that entertained in the cinema in ages. The way I sum up my feeling about this film is that I just did not want it to end. I was not going, I was thinking, I didn't want it to end.
This film started for me, I saw it at 7 p.m. in the evening, and just out of, I think it's because I moved my wrist and my Apple Watch lit up. And all of a sudden it was 9 p.m. And I was like, what? Like, it's already been 2 hours. The pace of it was insane.
It felt like an hour and a half for me. I didn't want it to end. I was like, I didn't want a sequel because obviously it's not made for it to be a sequel, but I just didn't. I loved this world that he built. I loved this dynamic between Leonardo DiCaprio and Chase Infinity's character.
Yes.
I absolutely, for me, I mean, in terms of what it all rides on, it is, in terms of performances, that is it. I think the performances, the characters that he's hashed out, completely, and the way in which he's moulded them. And then you get Sean Penn. He stole it for me. He was hilarious. Like, I couldn't believe how many people weren't laughing in my cinema. Were people laughing in your screening?
Yeah, I think
I was laughing in mine.
I had a bit more of a older demographic in mind, and it was packed. The cinema was packed.
See, mine was,
which I was so glad to see.
I know. I always find, I'm always glad to see that, because I'd seen, like, same with the Smashing Machine, which I'm seeing tonight.
That was packed for me.
Was it? Well, I'm glad, because I've seen a lot of things about, as well, One Battle After Another and the Smashing Machines. Both got amazing reviews, especially the former. People are saying this is the best film of the year, and we haven't seen all the films of the year, but I would argue so far, like, this is going to be up there for me. I can't see many things like knocking it off top spot. However, the numbers don't really reflect that, and it's like, everyone's crying out for original stuff. You're getting it. Go and watch it. Go and watch it, because like, it's not going to get made otherwise. Don't just go and watch like the big bucks Marvel movies. No, let's go and let's get our bums on seats in the cinemas. So I mean, it was a Tuesday night. It was as busy as it probably could be. It was busy, but they weren't laughing. Me and my brother were pissing ourselves laughing. It was just the dialogue.
Dan love it?
Oh, Daniel loved it. My brother absolutely loved it. We were sat there. We came out. We were just giggling to ourselves on the way home. Do you remember that bit?
Love that.
So yeah, I thought in terms of like comedy, I thought it was very funny. Not even like obviously being advertised as a comedy as well. The fact that it just naturally had so much humour interwoven into it. Yeah, brilliant. Sean Penn's character for me was hilarious.
Oscar, if he's not nominated for an Oscar, I will go down to the Academy myself.
I want him to win. I know I've not seen all the performances.
I know.
And apparently Paul Mescal's in the running. He's going to be put in the supporting category. Yeah. But I want him to win.
He was so fab. He was so awful, but so good. Like I felt sorry for him at times. Same. And I was like, why am I feeling sorry for you?
He's such a tragic little soul, but
he played just a weirdo. It so well. And I thought, for me, the chemistry between Leonardo DiCaprio and Benicio del Toro was brilliant. Yeah. Ocean waves, in, out, ocean waves. I was obsessed with that. But I thought he was like, the fact that like Leonardo DiCaprio's character was going through this like existential crisis when he was in the karate studio and sirens went past and he just fell straight to the floor
in this dressing gown. Yeah. And he fell from like a 4-story building.
Yeah, and he got tasered and was like, ugh.
Oh, it was just I loved it.
But like Benicio del Toro's character was like the complete other end of the spectrum, just being like, yeah, chilled, let me get my gun from under the bed.
Yeah.
Like it was
the juxtaposition. And it was also, I thought like it was so, that sort of dynamic between them was like so enriched by the editing. The editing, the pace of it, the way in which it flows, especially during that scene when he goes to the karate studio, or is it his store, and then they go upstairs, and then there's all of the like
they get out and they go down under the hatch,
and all the immigrants get out, and then he is he's like on the phone again with the group,
the guy,
and he's like, what's the code? And he's like having a massive meltdown.
What's the time?
Oh, what time is it? That's it. And it was like, you don't know the time. And it was just hilarious. And then he's just like, he's having a fit. He's walking around glacially, just like sorting out all the
people are still going down the hatch, and he's just like, and they've got people coming up the stairs, and he's just like, yeah, whatever. It's like not asked. That rug roll as well.
Oh, the rug roll! Oh my god!
What's the door smack?
That was brilliant. It was just the pace of it. You felt at first, I was like, okay, where's it? Obviously, the first half an hour, you're thinking, where's it gonna go? Like he's exiled. Leonardo DiCaprio is taking the baby. He's gone. What's gonna be the thing? And then it just all sort of the pace of it, the unexpectedness of it all, the fact that I just had no idea where it was going, but I was so like along for the ride. I just was like, take me, Paul Thomas Anderson, take me away. I loved it. Another thing as well, cinematography, phenomenal.
Loved, but
especially in the car scene, the chase scene.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Fab.
That was honestly,
and when you went into the car as well,
I
was loving that over the hills like that.
Yes. Oh, I loved it.
I thought. I mean,
what are your thoughts on it? I
thought
no notes for me.
For me, the not negative points, but in terms of the storyline, it wasn't anything groundbreaking. No. I wasn't like, oh my god, that storyline, that twist. But for me, it was the performances and the characters and the setting of it all. I think that was the thing that really carried the film. But before, obviously, I saw it, initial reactions I was seeing a lot of initial reactions, and everyone was really praising Tiana Taylor, and I was really excited to see her, and then she just left.
She's not in it.
I was expecting, there was parts in the film where I was like, she's gonna walk through the door, she's not dead, she's gonna walk through the door, she's gonna walk through the door, she's gonna come back, but that's purely because I'd seen all of these
you've seen all. I see. I hadn't. So when she was like, she gone.
But because I'd seen beforehand everyone praising her performance, I was like, I thought she was great.
Yeah, she was.
But
good.
Then I was kind of like, well, surely if people are going on about her so much, she's in it a little bit more. But she just wasn't. But it didn't take away from the fact. That's the only thing that I did find myself kind of, but I think maybe that was self-inflicted because I had looked at things beforehand. But I was kind of like, she's going to come back. I went to see it with my mum, and my mum also said the same. Yeah. She said I was kind of waiting for her to kind of make a big grand entrance, like, when they were at the nunnery.
Oh my god, that was such a random.
It was so random.
That was funny as well. Like just the kind of going to a nunnery that just contrasts this whole debacle of a film.
He always sets like Licorice Pizza. That was in a mattress store.
Yeah, it's random.
Random bits.
It's funny. It just works though, doesn't it?
I kind of expected when the DNA test, you were waiting for that to come through, and it was like, is it going to line up? Is it not? And I kind of was like, no, I don't want Leonardo DiCaprio not to be the dad. And it was just like, but I was kind of expecting her to like walk through and be like, save the day. But then
the massive machine,
literally gun. That's my only, but it's not a negative point. I was just kind of maybe because I was expecting a little bit something different or a little bit more from Tiana Taylor. But all of the performances. I mean, Chase Infinity, the fact that her first film is this film, two with all of these amazing actors, Sean Penn, Leonardo DiCaprio, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, and now you've got Oscar buzz surrounding you.
I know.
She slayed the game.
She was brilliant. For me, I mean, Sean Penn was like I wouldn't say he was. I think she was like the beating heart of the film, really, in a sense. Like it all everything kind of went back to her in terms of plot and like the characters. Everyone was kind of aligned to her in a way. So I feel like she definitely was like the gravity that held it down, like that character. And I thought she was brilliant in it. I thought she was so good. That scene as well when she got taken to the house and left, and then he comes back for it, and I was like, oh, that was really, really good. I thought, yeah, she just brought a lot of like emotion and heart to it. But for me, I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio, I mean, I could rave about Sean Penn until I'm blue in the face. I really want him to win an Oscar for this. He was so good.
Yeah.
But the one thing I actually was like, I was on my way here and I was actually thinking about this. Leonardo DiCaprio, I've not seen him. I think maybe it's because his last few films have been incredibly like different to this in terms of his character and the themes. Kills of the Flower Moon, Exhibit A. Maybe a bit of similarities in more so to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. His character there.
I thought that, yeah, the comedic tones and the kind of like the way he was around. It was giving me his character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, the kind of goofy element. I think that I got that as well. But I feel like I don't feel sorry for Leonardo DiCaprio. He's Leonardo DiCaprio. But I always, like, when you think about it, he won an Oscar for a film in which he kind of spends most of the time on his own. And I always feel like, I don't think it's him as an actor, but I do feel like he is always the leading man. And whether it's a coincidence or not, but there's characters around his characters, like more supporting roles that kind of have the edge in terms of not just the performance, but perhaps the way in which the character is developed in a way. I don't know. So, like, for example, I thought Lily Gladstone was like she just stole the show and Kills the Flower Moon. I will die on that hill that she deserved the Oscar. And I'm sad that she didn't get it. This for me, Sean Penn, although they didn't spend a lot of time to get a lot of scenes together, I don't think they had any scenes together really. But he just like knocked out the ballpark. I don't know whether it's just a coincidence of the fact that his character for me, listen, Leonardo DiCaprio's character in this was
he was
so funny. And it's so refreshing to see him in more of a comedic role. Yes. And he just looked like he had a lot of fun with this. There's not as much of the weight in a lot of the things and themes of a lot of other projects that he's probably been producer on, like Kills the Flower Moon, for example. He looked like he just had a fucking whale of a time with this. So I did love to see that. However, I don't know. I just feel like he's never the main guy in a film for me when it comes to like his character almost. They're not even just performance, but sometimes his character. I feel like he doesn't get the short end of the straw, but the outlandishness of Sean Penn's character and the hilarity of that just kind of outshone for me. It did. Like he just Leonardo DiCaprio
the Terminator moment where he just gets out of the car and just starts walking down the road and you're just like, oh, for God's sake. He survived that.
I know. And then at the end, like, oh, for fuck's sake, and then at the end, he actually, spoiler, that was just, he was. But that isn't a critique of him. I just think, because obviously we have him sat right here in front of us and I'm obsessed with him. But I don't know. For me, not to be a comparative, Carol, but I loved all the performances. I thought they were all brilliant. But Sean Penn was just funny.
Yeah, he was.
Fuck.
One other thing I wanted to mention was the soundtrack. Now, I love the music in films. Music in film really like tip from being a good film to a great film for me.
I agree.
And I just loved the fact that there was a constant underscore in this film. The music never dropped out. Even
score was brilliant.
I really noticed even when you felt like there was no music there was still a beat going on underneath, even no matter how subtle it was. And I just loved it. I thought it added so much. The whole first 2 hours I think had a constant underscore.
Yeah.
And I just loved, and I thought the music was picked and composed really, really well.
Johnny Greenwood who did that score.
Yes.
I loved the score. Yeah. The score as well, you don't really realise that it's there.
No,
you've got such an ear because I was watching it and there was a moment when he's in the nunnery in that church with Chase Infinity and Sean Penn, and there's like a big like violin chord that goes or something like that, and you're like, I jumped out of my seat. It's weird how it complemented the kind of the pace of it in such a great way. There's an element of humor to it, but like suddenness to it, and I think it made me jump a little bit, but I wasn't scared. I was like, well, this is quite funny. Like, I don't know, there was something.
If anything, it adds to the tension of it almost, doesn't it? And the soundtrack and the score of it really made it for me from a good film to a great film. I ranked it 4.5 stars on Letterboxd.
I haven't even reviewed it yet.
The half, I think, is probably to do with the fact I was expecting more Tiana Taylor and the fact that the storyline wasn't anything absolutely groundbreaking, but I did still really enjoy it. I think for me, that's what just brought it a little bit under 5 stars, but I did. I really love this film. It's it's a film that I haven't been this hooked and this engaged in. Like, there was a woman who was actually sat next to us who was like this for most of the film. Bearing in mind we're on reclining seats, she was like this for most of the film, and I was like, you know what, Queen, your posture is how I'm feeling. Like, yeah.
Your posture is how I'm feeling.
But
I know.
Yeah, I
loved
thought,
it. I think
it was fab.
As well, it's so refreshing just to watch something that there was obviously certain like political elements to it. I think Paul Thomas Anderson's mentioned that he took years to write this. There's a lot of kind of but it's such a strong political undercurrent. It's not what defines the film.
No, definitely.
And I thoroughly enjoyed the fact that it just kind of it was just thoroughly entertaining. It was so entertaining. I didn't take my eyes off the screen. I was actually crying laughing at certain points. It was my brother was like, because my brother's such a loud laugher.
Yeah,
he was like that, literally giggling. The one-liners, the jokes, like the interactions and dynamics between the characters, that is what made it for me. And I have been on record on this podcast saying that I am more of a plot girly, and I am. But for me, what made this film was the fact that the plot, I didn't mind that it was sort of, it wasn't as developed and it wasn't really as much of a plot-based film, because these characters and what he has done with the dynamics between them all, and the fact that this film for me just flowed in such a really funny, like almost kind of lyrical but comedic way. It worked. It just kind of worked, and that's actually really rare for me that a film does that. I kind of bypassed the fact that the plot, I was like, oh, because the plot's it's not groundbreaking like you said, but I just was like, and I always understood what was going on.
No,
which
I
liked.
I know sometimes it can get a little bit confusing with films nowadays, especially. I think they can get a bit overcomplicated. But the one note I do want to end on is go and see it in cinemas, because this is a film that is made for the big screen. It's a cinematic masterpiece in terms of the cinematography, and I don't think it's going to go out of cinemas anytime soon with the way it's going. It's still got quite a few showtimes, especially where we are. But
well, actually it has. I'm going to see the Smashing Machine tonight, and I was booking my ticket for it last night, and I was like, there's still so many showings of this, which I'm elated by. Go and watch it. I might go watch it again.
I might go watch it. I really want to go and watch it on IMAX. We should find it.
We should,
on IMAX somewhere.
Oh no, we should, because I actually feel like I do want to go watch it again.
No, I would so go and watch it again. I think it'll be re-released anyway, or like it'll stay in until award season anyway.
I think it will
be re-released if it's not already still out.
Yeah, I'd love to see this. I mean, in terms of awards, it's very early to predict.
But there are thoughts on one battle after another.
Loved.
So we're going to be talking about, in this part of the podcast,
we are going to be talking about
our favourite scenes ever in film. And we're just going to do a bit of a back and forth.
Yeah, we are. A little chat.
Yeah, just have a little chat.
We won't delve
too deeply into them.
No.
Because it's like,
we're not scholars, do you know what I mean?
Go and watch them.
Go and watch them. Go watch them.
If you haven't seen the film, go and watch the scene. Go and watch the film so you can see the scene. So
we are enthusiasts entirely. We are not scholars. We're not going to break them down.
No, exactly.
But sometimes, who was it? I think it's Christopher Nolan that said films shouldn't be understood, they're meant to be felt. Which actually is very Christopher Nolan thing to say.
Most of these films are very much felt.
I understand them.
But these are in no particular order, personally.
No, I just jotted loads down. Go on, hit me one, babes.
So number one I noted down was the film Almost Famous and the Tiny Dancer scene.
Because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you are going to have to watch that film. I feel like you'd really like it.
Okay,
Mum loves it. This takes place, this scene, right after they've just had this big argument, and the song comes onto the radio and they all start singing along to it, and it's just at a point in the film where you're just like, oh, it's just one of those films where, one of the scenes where I just kind of felt like so wholesome, and the fact that one song can kind of heal and make you forget about, whatever you might have, because it is so true, like music. I've mentioned in so many episodes, I love music in film. So I think for me, this I loved just where this was in the film, just the whole essence of the scene in general. It's not overly dramatic. It's very quiet and just very human. Like you can imagine it actually happening in a
real
lot
life.
Real life. So
I need to watch that. I haven't. That's one of my mum. That came up on the telly the other night, and Mum was like, "You're not seeing that."
Yeah.
So no, we ended up watching Saturday Night Fever instead.
Oh, love that.
I forgot how brilliant that film is.
Fab,
it's
isn't it?
So good. Should we go into another music-based one? Now, this is a bit of a diversion. It's actually probably one. I can't remember being so enthralled and so saddened by a scene in a film.
Yeah.
There is a Bergman film. My favourite Bergman film is Autumn Sonata. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's on BFI Play. You've got to watch it.
I'll watch it.
He literally he's made like, I'd say 60 films, and throughout the duration of his career. His earlier stuff in like 50s, 60s, I'm not as I like, but Autumn Sonata, which came out in 1978, starring Ingrid Bergman and Liv Ullmann. Liv Ullmann is like his muse, like his she's in every single one of his films basically. Autumn Sonata is a scene, not a single word, but not really a single word is said. The dynamic between it is literally, on a nutshell, about the childhood traumas and the dynamics between a daughter and a mother, and watching everything unfold over the course of like an hour and a half, and it is so enthralling, and I found it so magnetic. Dialogue, one of them films, if you love dialogue, you'll love that film. But this scene, they sit there at a piano. Her mother is a pianist, like a very, very famous pianist, and she's teaching her how to properly play a particular melody written by a certain renowned pianist. Yeah. And all of the Liv Ullmann, who plays the daughter, she watches her play this entire tune for I don't know how many minutes. It goes on for a bit, and she just stares at her and holds this gaze of like utter devastation. And it's like with every single touch of the piano, keys, the soul just drains out of her. She's just empty by the end of it. It is one of the most sublime performances I think I've ever watched. She doesn't say a word, but I remember watching it being like, oh my God, what's going to happen now? What is going to happen now? This is like, nothing is said. It is masterful. He holds the camera straight on her face. She just gazes at her mum with every sound, every minute, every second, there is just an ever like fading sense of hopelessness, like on her face. Like she just is overcome by the trauma of what has happened in her childhood with her mother. And then the film goes on with the most like it's contrasted with so much dialogue in the latter parts of it, and like just how much it goes on is one massive scene at the end, and it all comes to a head. But that one scene is where you know you're in for something when this film goes on. It is.
Oh, fab!
I feel like I've really sold that, but
you have.
I can sell it, but I'm just like, because I just love it so much. Yeah. That is probably one of my top 10 favorite films, and that scene is just sublime. So go watch Autumn Sonata.
My next one is from Goodfellas.
Okay,
and it's the funny how scene with Joe Pesci, and well, there's a few of them in it, but firstly, that scene is improvised.
Is it?
Yeah, it's improvised, which just makes it all the more funny and flawless. Yeah. And the awkwardness and the underlying tension, and like the overcompensating from certain characters. Ray Liotta's character overcompensating with that OTT laugh that he does. Yeah, when Joe Pesci's character just switches and is like, funny how, and everyone's like,
yeah,
oh God. I just think it's just so intense, and you don't know if he's joking, you don't know if he's literally about to lose it. I just think it's just the perfect mix of like humor and menace, tension, and I just I think it's just done so well. But yeah, I read that it was improvised, which I didn't know.
They always are, aren't
they? Yeah, they always are the best scenes. I've got here that the actors improvised parts of it, so there is probably genuine confusion and fear on their faces, because they're a bit like, oh my God, like what is going to happen next, literally, because we're playing off script here. But I think obviously the underlying thing, it's not just about it being funny, it's about like the power and the ego and how unstable their lives really are in that film. And I just think it's just done so well. Like, no matter how many times I watch Goodfellas, it'll come to that scene and I'm still like riddled with anxiety for them characters in that scene, even though I know how it's gonna play out.
I've not watched it since I was 9. I watched it with
really?
I've not watched that in years.
You need to watch
I don't
it
think
now that you're older.
remember a lot of what actually. I need to rewatch it because 9 doesn't really count as watching it. Now this particular scene is from Steel Magnolias.
I watched that the other day.
Can you guess which scene it is?
It's the Sally Field scene
at the end.
Yeah,
but not solely for Sally Field.
Okay,
my favorite part of that, I think severely underrated film, what makes it so brilliant for me is the contrast in this particular scene, and it encapsulates the love and joy and the heartache of the whole film so well. It kind of all just kind of exists there in a nutshell, and it communicates to you as a viewer. You're like, this is what this scene just encapsulates the whole thing, and it's so beautiful. It's when Sally Fields is having this just breakdown about the fact that her daughter has just died. And I mean, sorry, I've spoiled that for you, but like, you should have watched it, so you can shut up. Yeah. I cannot remember for the life of me the actress that plays Clary, but Sally Fields goes, I want to hit something, I want to hit it, and she just grabs Shirley MacLaine's character Weezer, who is the most miserable but hilarious, endearing but agonizing sod. And she just goes, hit her. She grabs her and she just goes, hit her. And then she's like, let go of me. And she's like, oh, the fact that she's so serious about it as well, when she's trying to bring light to this moment. She's like, go on, hit her, hit her. And then Shirley MacLaine, she's like, let go. It's just so funny. And they all just start laughing. And it's just a really wonderful sort of message about life and how it can be in a split second. It can just be filled with so much hilarity and so much despair. That's what it is. It's a big amalgamation of all these things. And I thought that scene, it encapsulates it so well. You're crying one minute, you're laughing the next. Love
Sally Field's performance in that. Wow.
I can walk all the way to Texas and back, but my daughter can't. Oh, it's just heartbreaking. But yeah.
My next one is the Broadway melody ballet from Singing in the Rain.
Oh, I have
Oh my god! I just think it's just so huge and colourful and dreamlike, and it really shows off that everything that a Hollywood musicals can they can do. And I just think the over the top and stylish, essence that it's got. I just think the dancing in it, I mean, it really just, like, Gene Kelly is such an incredible dancer, and it's so graceful as well, the way that they dance. Like, she literally looks like featherweight, like, when he's like lifting her up and stuff, she literally looks like he's not, it didn't take any effort at all. It's just all done with such, like, elegance and such. I just think, I will always, no matter how many times I rewatch that film, I will lock in for that scene, especially because I'm just like, wow. I think it really is pure movie magic, and I think that film was made so long ago.
I know.
It's a film that is still so, it's really resonating, 60, 70 years later. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The big long train that she has at the very end.
Oh my god.
And it's just flapping, and I'm just like, oh, wow.
I know. It's just like, it's just eye candy. It's just delicious.
And the colours, Singing in the Rain's colours just hit the mark.
I always think that when I watch it.
Yeah, the colours in it are absolutely insane, and I just think they're really emphasised in that scene.
Yeah.
There's green. There's a green in it somewhere. I swear there is. In that scene especially. There's green. I don't know where. It's so fab.
Even the Singing in the Rain scene as well. I had that down too.
Yeah.
I adore that film. I watched it actually not long ago for the first time, like 2 years ago. And you get a sense when you watch it, you're like, oh my God, this was actually made at a time when these films were not made.
No, literally.
And it's just such a wonderful watch. My next one is the final scene. Now, this is probably going to come with a spoiler, so if you don't want spoilers for this film, skip. The final scene, the very final scene for Memories of Murder. I went to watch this at the Picture House last year, and I sat there rather uncomfortably because the seats weren't that comfortable. But nevertheless, my arse was numb, but my eyes were locked, enthralled. The final scene, when the detective goes back to the scene of the crime at the very beginning where the first body was found. If you don't, Bong Joon-ho, Korean, based on a real life Korean serial killer. 2003, go watch. It's just, I'm not going to go into it. It's detailed, it's long, but it's brilliant. And the final scene when the detective goes back to the scene of the crime, the first body that was found in the beginning of the film, he encounters a schoolgirl, and the schoolgirl says to him, oh, I saw, a guy walking past you or whatever. And he goes, oh, what did he look like? Like looking at fishing around where the actual body was found, and what did he look like? And she goes, ordinary. And he kind of clicks and realizes that probably might have been the killer. And the actor's eyes lock into the camera, and then it just stops. And having read more, I mean, I love the scene anyway. That instant, just sort of the tension and the horror that just your blood runs cold when you watch it. Mine did anyway, especially given the whole everything that happens in that film. It all comes to a head in such a simple but revealing fashion. And the fact that it's so bright, we were just mentioning colour, the fact that the film itself is so bright, and it's on a really lovely summer's day, and he's in nature, and this is also the scene of a crime that has not been solved, and they've not found the serial killer. And I believe when this film came out, the serial killer had not been found, and I think he may have been since.
Oh, okay.
And when the actor locks eyes on the camera, it was Bong Joon-ho's way of basically appealing to this killer to come forward in a way, or to kind of communicate how we see you, we know what you've done, you are going to get found out for this. And that fact, no one ever, there's not a thing in the film for any of the characters to look into the camera, but he just looked in the look, the just blank, banal, sort of empty look on this detective's face of thinking, this has not been solved, but it needs to be solved. We can't, like, it can be solved. We need to find who it is. He just sort of like gazes there, like empty, but like with an understanding that there's someone out there still.
Yeah.
And it's so chilling. Even the dialogue, just ordinary. Like, that's who she thought it probably was the serial killer that was there. So yeah, that scene for me, shivers. I've not had a film like that. Was really scary when I watched it, but yeah, brilliant. Stayed with me.
Another one of my favourite scenes is the opening sequence from Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah.
And I just really like this because
just stands there.
For starters, it's just iconic, and I think it just tells you everything about Holly Golightly without saying a word. And I think that is so clever to not, that's proper, you know, cinema storytelling for me, without being able to tell a story without saying it, without using any dialogue is mad. I just think the way that she steps out of the taxi in a black dress with the coffee and the croissant in her hand, and then she's just staring into the Tiffany's window. I'm just like, oh, there's elegance and the sadness to it, and I just think it sets up the film just brilliantly. Like, she looks so glamorous, also so lonely. There's like that innocent look in her face, and she's just kind of like vulnerable. And I just think, it's such a simple moment, but it really sets the tone perfectly. I think it's one of the very few films that really does that.
I agree with that.
From the very off.
So enchanting.
And, the music and the city and just her whole presence. The fact that she is just Audrey Hepburn is just insane. I just think it's so unforgettable.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. Yeah, that's a good one. There's a few on here, but the one I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with the 1917 scene when he's running across the battlefield.
Yeah.
Just because of visually, I watched it again recently, and I just was like, that is. And the fact that the whole thing's one take, although they cut at some point, don't they? Like in the middle. But the fact that it's all virtually one take, and he has to get this message, and it's you as a viewer, you're like, go, but don't go. It's just
the stumbling and just the erraticness of it.
Yeah, all of like the realism of it all, and just the bombs. I mean, visually, I mean, the urgency of the character is like reflected as well, and just like and the chaos, his probably internal chaos is just reflected in all the chaos around him. I mean, it's George
McKay, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just amazing. He actually looks a bit like Harris Dickinson to me as well.
Yeah, he does.
I got a bit confused when I was watching. I was like, Harris Dickinson. It's not. But yeah, that's an amazing.
It's because like a lot of war films, you just that instinct is to just drop, whereas he's like, you can see him, he's like trying to dodge anything that might be coming his way, but he's just so desperate to get obviously the message across,
and he's just empty. He has no gas left in the tank, but it's just visually that's such an incredible scene. I love that scene.
I've got a final one which is going to be an obvious one, but it's the ending montage from La La Land.
Oh, I know.
The ending montage, but also the ending scene where the look back and forth, and the piano dies out, goes to the single keys, and Ryan Gosling just takes a moment,
just talking about it,
and looks up, and you don't think Emma Stone's going to turn around, but she does. And just are they going to smile at each other? Are they going to, embrace? Like, what are they going to do? And the pained happiness for each other, because he's got his jazz bar, she's made it as an actress, they've made it in terms of their own lives, but they haven't made it with each other, and it's just like and I just think that whole dream, like, no, I know,
cold, like literally
the whole montage is just fab. And again, the use of music in that, brilliant. The look from each other, and it's just like Ryan Gosling almost, like Seb, his character, doesn't want to smile at her first, because he's kind of like, how are you feeling about this? And then he kind of is like, oh no, obviously it's so happy. Beautiful. But it's also so bittersweet at the same time. So I could not mention that. And again, the colours of that, obviously, because they're in that club, it's dark, the blue light on Emma Stone's face as well just adds all the more, like, the fact that Damien Chazelle picked blue as well, because it is a blue feeling. You do feel a bit blue after you've watched it, because you're just like, what the hell? Me and Seb aren't together. But yeah, I just think I've seen that film about 9 times, and every single time I watch that ending sequence, I'm just sat there like, oh.
Do you know what makes it more bitter as well? The whole montage of what could have been beforehand.
Exactly. the montage of
Get
what
out.
could have been,
Damien
and like
Chazelle,
how
what are
it
you
could have
doing?
how it could have all panned out. The set pieces in that as well, the way that they kind of like, it's almost done as if like they're in a film, as in the characters are in a film themselves. Like they're going from film set to film set, they come out that stage door, and it's all white. I think fabulous.
Yeah, I need to
It's done
rewatch that
so
film.
well. Yeah, it's
that is a beautiful film. Okay, I'm gonna mention a few like nonchalantly, like the ones that I'm not like, oh, okay. All Work and No Play scene from The Shining.
okay. Yeah.
The Truman Show, the last scene.
Yes.
I don't see ya. Then I'm gonna Somewhere Over the Rainbow I put down because like I just that was my first film memories that I've just sat there watching it. I was just enthralled. And I mean, there's just so many. I have loads down, but I'm gonna go with Good Will Hunting, It's Not Your Fault. That was another one I put down.
Yeah.
But
that's a good one.
I am gonna choose Al Pacino's speech in Scent of a Woman. I absolutely the way it's delivered, the fact that he is like the lyrical sort of like the agony and the diction in his voice and the command with which he speaks, and he's giving it all to all these teachers and these governors. He is there's this one, the dialogue. I mean, what's his line here? There is nothing like the sight of an amputated spirit. There is no prosthetic for that. And himself is an amputated spirit. And the fact that he can say that in front of a room full of people is testament to like virtually the whole film, in the sense that this boy, Charlie, who was kind of nursed him back to some sort of place of salvation in a way, he's actually done that because the fact that he can say himself he's an amputated, he knows what an amputated spirit is because he himself has been one.
Yeah.
And he stood up there, and the fact that he's just so weighed down by like the depression and the angst with which he just exists in life, and the fact that he actually has mustered up something to just come to the forefront for this boy is so beautiful. I just think he's magnetic in it. I mean, he's so alive yet so dead throughout the entire film in a way. Like it's all that there's something in that. I'm not going to try and like analyze that particular phrase, but yeah, there's something living and dead within that character throughout the whole film, and he just comes to a head at the end when his character seems more genuinely like in full fledged life, and you feel as a viewer that he might actually be able to put one step forward.
Yeah.
And it's all done within this context of showing up for someone else, and he's not enthralled with his own pain anymore. And I just think it's so beautiful. I think the way in which he delivers that speech and how he just so vigorously defends him, I think there's such a lyrical sort of musicality to the way he kind of flows through the dialogue.
Really is, yeah.
And like the command with which he just he speaks, I just adore it. That was his Oscar-winning film.
It was,
and I just adore it. So that's my last one. There are some of our favorite
films. Favorite film scenes. So if you haven't seen any of them, either go and watch the scene on YouTube or watch the full film.
Watch the full film.
Watch the full film to get the context. We hope you enjoyed.
That was really fun.
That was fun.
Oh my days.
We should do more like favorite performances and stuff, like in terms of actors.
We probably will do that.
No, definitely.
But yeah.
Food for thought. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.